Hello everyone. My name is Abhijit. I'm from India and I'm a co-founder of Kanadlab Institute of Intellectual Property and Research, which is a startup and IP consulting firm based in India. And today I'm going to share my personal story of entrepreneurship and my realization about being different. So do you know which country produces the highest number of STEM graduates in the world? Yeah, it's India. India produces around 2.6 million STEM graduates per year. Despite having such a high number of STEM graduates, you will find very little awareness of intellectual property rights in India, which seems somewhat contradictory. And that is because intellectual property, which we simply refer to as IP, is one of the most crucial tools for businesses to create a market monopoly. And it is very closely associated with the development of STEM sectors of a given country. Just like, as you can see here, these are the statistics of number of patents granted by different countries in a given year. And where is India in it? If you compare the patents granted by first 3 or 4 countries with India, if we consider the population of India and the number of STEM graduates which India produces every year, the country needs to put much efforts in this sector. As an IP professional, I have seen tech experts asking questions like how to get a patent on a logo or how to copyright a newly developed invention. And it seems funny to hear because a logo cannot be patented. It can be registered as a trademark. And a new technology or a new invention cannot be copyrighted. It can be protected under patents. If you find it difficult to understand, you need not to worry because even some PhD holders in technology are unable to differentiate between the most fundamental intellectual property rights like patents, trademarks, and industrial designs. I'm pretty sure many of you might be thinking how I got the idea to choose intellectual property as a career. My journey in intellectual property started when I was in the first year of my bachelor's program. I invented and improved heat detection technology for which I wanted to seek a patent. But back then, intellectual property was such a distant concept for most people that I had to study the Indian patent law by myself in order to apply for a patent. So this is actually me featured in one of the Marathi newspaper which covered the story of my invention. During these days, I was very fascinated about entrepreneurship and innovation. And I wanted to do something different in my life. I wanted to do something unique. So right after completion of my bachelor's in engineering, avoiding a traditional engineering career, I decided to take a different path. And can you guess what that different path was? I started a doorstep car washing company along with one of my best friends, Prasanna. He might be watching this video later, so say him hi. You should know that I started this company without any prior experience and knowledge of that industry. I made this decision when I was having a very nice job offer in my hand and when there was absolutely no surety that this business will work out. So we were doing something. Every day we used to get orders via our website or mobile phone. We used to load our washing equipments on a scooter and used to go to houses of customers to wash their cars. So this business was paying us well, but it was hard because we were involved in groundwork. And because of lack of labor and finance, it was very difficult for us to keep aside some free time for us. And sadly, very soon we had to close that business. I started that business being inspired by new age startups, modern business, which unlike traditional models, use technology for growth. Actually, I was more passionate and capable for intellectual pursuits, but I never considered my true, genuine nature and capabilities to be required for starting that business. I just started because somebody else was doing that, and I just saw them doing well, and I tried to copy. The failure of my first business venture actually provided me very deep understanding that I should focus on my competencies rather than trying to copy others. I also realized that I needed to find my inner calling and work to solve the real problems in society. Once again, my future was foreign to me, and that was until one of my mentors asked me to deliver a session on intellectual property rights to a group of entrepreneurs at his business consulting firm. Due to my core interest and reading about intellectual property, I was having very decent understanding of what intellectual property is and how it exactly works. Additionally, I had a prior experience assisting my friends and teachers with IP protection. So this was fairly new experience for me, but anyway, I was blank about future, and I thought probably I will get some direction, future direction from this experience. And that's why I decided to give a chance. Through this experience, I discovered that my personality is very suitable for working in intellectual property sector. So being more attracted to, being more inclined to intellectual property, I started providing IP awareness sessions to startups, innovators, and educational institutes. While I was providing awareness sessions, I was also working on what are the opportunities in this sector and how those opportunities could be converted into a profitable business. Completing a proper professional education and getting a hands-on experience in intellectual property law, I finally started Kanadlab Institute of Intellectual Property and Research in 2017. Basically, Kanadlab is a startup and IP consulting firm, and we work for helping entrepreneurs and innovators to create, legally protect, and commercialize their intellectual properties. Being an engineer, choosing a career in intellectual property law, which was entirely different from my technical background, was an unexpected and unacceptable decision for my family and society. And that was because, some of you might be knowing, Indians are crazy after technology. And getting admission in engineering schools is very competitive. I'm pretty sure many of you can relate to me when I say that it was very, very, very difficult for me to tell people about what I exactly do. There used to be funny incidences like, because of the similar meaning of the word property and real estate, people used to think that I work in real estate sector. Some people even advised me that real estate is a financially risky sector, and that's why I should consider changing my job to some safer option. So it was difficult for me to convey my ideas, primarily because of the complex and unknown nature of intellectual property. I was trying to adjust with it. My decision of being different demanded continuous proactive efforts, innovation, and a vision for the future. It was my conscious choice. It was not a mere coincidence. Dreaming of starting an IP consulting agency in a society which was largely unaware about intellectual property was not an easy decision. It was very risky. Considering the low level of IP awareness amongst technology students and entrepreneurs, I continued providing IP awareness sessions. Since 2017, I have trained more than 50,000 individuals in intellectual property rights with the help of around 300 IP awareness sessions and workshops. I have been invited by several research and industry institutions for delivering IP trainings, which include some of the most prestigious institutions of India and world, like Indian Institute of Technology, Institution of Engineers India, and the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industries. Kanadlab is now a small group of IP attorneys and startup consultants, and we have so far helped several entrepreneurs and innovators to create, protect, and commercialize their intellectual properties. I can see my firm making a difference on ground. Let me just give you an example of the change that we are bringing about. This is an indigenously developed seedling transplanter by one of my client startups. As some of the crops like onion, they require separate plantation of seedlings, and then the seedling is transplanted into the main field. So this process of transplantation was being carried out with the help of humans before the introduction of this machine. So, as you might be knowing, India is a farming country, and agricultural labor shortage has been one of the major issues faced by India. And due to the small size of fields, it is very difficult for farmers to buy big machines which are specifically developed for industrial scale farming. So this startup basically developed a machine for small scale use, with improved efficiency and economy. And the product became a big hit on the market when it was released. It has so far helped several farmers to increase their yield and to face the challenge of agricultural labor shortage in relatively less expense. With a special focus on patents, trademarks, industrial designs, I'm very happy and proud to share that I have helped more than 30 such startups to establish a monopoly business in market with the help of IPR. And it has helped in generation of substantial employment in the region where I am working. These are the statistics of number of IP filings in India, and as you can see, India observed a continuous surge in number of IP filings since 2017 because of IPR awareness and education amongst masses. The credit of this goes to several individuals, several organizations, and of course government, which worked for awareness, education, and most importantly, the promotion of intellectual property rights amongst public. And I'm very humbled and happy to say that I also made my own small contribution to this increased number of IP filings through my IP awareness sessions. My journey of entrepreneurship so far has helped me to realize that in this competitive age, often being yourself is the best way to be different. A unique career can be found at the intersection of what we like to do, what we know to do, and what the market demands that we do. We all are designed differently, we all have different capabilities and different strengths, and if we focus on finding our capabilities and strengths, at some point of time we will surely end up doing what we like to do and what we can perform best in. And that is why I say, be yourself to be different. Thank you.